Imagine a world where the deepest, darkest ocean wasn't just a part of our planet, but virtually was our planet. A realm teeming with creatures so utterly bizarre, so alien, that they seem like something ripped straight from a sci-fi nightmare. Before dinosaurs stomped the earth, before majestic trees reached for the sky, before even the tiniest insect dared to crawl on land, Earth's oceans were ruled by monsters and marvels beyond our wildest imagination. Seriously, forget everything you think you know about ancient life. This isn't just about big fish. This is about the dawn of complexity itself. What did life look like when the ocean was literally the entire world, and the rules of evolution were just being written? Get ready, because we're diving deep into an ancient, incredible mystery. Rewind the clock, way back, about 540 million years ago. Our Earth was a very different place. Picture it, vast, shimmering oceans covering almost everything, with barely a patch of dry land in sight. And even that land, barren. No plants, no animals, not even a speck of moss, just rock and dust. But beneath the waves, it was a different story entirely. The seas were buzzing with life, but not like anything you'd recognize today. We're talking strange, soft-bodied creatures, wiggly and wonderful, completely unlike the complex animals we see now. This era wasn't just a chapter in Earth's history. It was the prologue, the opening act for every living thing that would ever exist. This was the moment life hit the accelerator, a phenomenon so profound we call it the Cambrian explosion. So how did all this incredible diversity begin? It started, as all good stories do, with food. In this ancient ocean, the very first ecosystems were forming. Think of it, simple organisms, some munching on algae, others filtering tiny particles from the water. And then the scavengers arrived, like the iconic trilobites, scurrying across the seafloor, tidying up the debris. But nature abhors a vacuum, and it wasn't long before a new, thrilling dynamic emerged: the birth of predators and prey. For the first time ever, creatures were actively hunting, and others were evolving clever ways to avoid being lunch. This wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about outsmarting, outrunning, and out-evolving. It was a biological arms race playing out in the primordial soup, setting the stage for all the complex interactions we see in food chains today. And in this fledgling world of hunters and hunted, one creature rose above all others to become the undisputed ruler of the Cambrian seas, Anomalocaris. You might not have heard of it, but trust me, this was the ocean's first true super predator. Imagine a creature up to a meter long, massive for its time, with powerful, segmented body, huge compound eyes that could spot prey from a distance, and two fearsome, spiny claws at the front of its head. These aren't just any claws. They were perfect for snatching and crushing. And its mouth? A circular, ring-shaped maw lined with sharp plates, designed for a single purpose: devouring. Anomalocaris was the T-Rex of its era, relentlessly hunting down trilobites and other early animals, asserting its dominance over an ocean that was still finding its footing. It was truly a terrifying, magnificent pioneer of predation. But Anomalocaris wasn't the only star of this ancient show. The Cambrian period was a grand experiment in evolution, a time when nature tried out every wild design imaginable. Take Opabinia, for example. It had 5 stalked eyes on its head, 5, and a long, flexible, vacuum cleaner-like trunk, ending in a gripper. It looked like something from another planet. Then there's Hallucigenia, a creature so bizarre it was originally reconstructed upside down. It had rows of sharp spines on its back for defense and 7 pairs of delicate, tentacle-like legs on its belly. And what about Wiwaxia, covered in bristly scales and spikes, or Marella, the delicate lace crab, one of the most common fossils found? Many of these experimental designs ultimately didn't make the cut and went extinct, but they showcase just how creative and unconstrained early evolution truly was. It was a playground of biological innovation. This incredible burst of life wasn't just about weird shapes. It was about the fundamental evolution of complexity itself. Think about it. This was the era when basic body parts we take for granted today really took shape. We saw the development of sophisticated eyes, protective shells, and exoskeletons, articulated limbs for movement, and the powerful concept of bilateral symmetry, meaning two identical halves which made coordinated movement and hunting so much more efficient. These innovations weren't just random. They were driven by the intense selective pressures of predation and competition. The first flickers of intelligence and sophisticated mobility emerged, pushing life beyond simple existence into active interaction with its environment. It was natural selection working in its rawest, most dynamic form, sculpting the blueprint for all future life right there in the ocean. As the Cambrian era slowly faded, the world was already shifting. We move into the Ordovician period, and the oceans continued their majestic expansion. Coral reefs began to take shape, creating complex new habitats, and new forms of life evolved to fill them. Jawless fish, early ancestors to much of what we know today, started swimming through these waters. The age of anomalocaries might have ended, but new predators emerged, even more specialized and efficient, constantly pushing the boundaries of evolution. The oceans were becoming even more diverse, even more intricate, and quietly, steadily, they were preparing for something monumental. The very foundation for life's next incredible leap. The brave, uncharted journey onto land was being laid, one marine creature at a time. So, why does this ancient alien ocean matter to us right here, right now? Because the creatures that swam, crawled, and hunted in those primordial waters weren't just interesting fossils. They were the trailblazers, the pioneers who paved the way for every single living thing that followed. The genetic blueprint, the fundamental operating system for all complexity, from the majestic whales that still rule our oceans to the buzzing bees, the soaring eagles, and yes, even us humans, that blueprint began right there. Without those early, experimental forms of life, figuring out eyes, limbs, and complex food chains, evolution might have simply stopped at microbes. Their struggles, their innovations, their very existence laid the bedrock for billions of years of biological wonder. They truly are our deepest, most ancient ancestors. It's an incredible thought, isn't it? Every single living thing on Earth today, including you and me, carries a piece of that ancient alien ocean within its very being. Our lineage stretches back to those bizarre, beautiful creatures who lived when the world was new and entirely aquatic. The journey of life is a continuous, awe-inspiring epic, and this is where its most dramatic chapter began. If you found this dive into deep time as fascinating as I did, hit that like button and subscribe to join our journey through Earth's incredible history. Next time, we'll explore how life finally, courageously, made the leap onto land and changed the planet forever. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure.